Hi YouTube, Siobhan, Uboxic Productions. Just a short thought on asking people to listen to your music, or people also wanting to listen to your music. Something very interesting happened to me the other day. Someone asked to hear my music, and this is a person that sings, supposedly. And as I began to play my music, the produced version, they began to do everything else, looking at everything else, or doing everything else other than listening to the music that they wanted to hear. And I thought about that. That has happened several times, as far as when you invite people over to work with them, or people to listen to your music and things. It seems that sometimes they get very, insecure about their music, or their limitations to their songwriting ability, or their limitations to their music. And they begin to kind of drift off somewhere else and not really pay attention to yours. And not that that's a big deal, but I think they do it unconsciously, because I think deep down inside somewhere, it's almost like an unconscious jealousy that they have concerning your music. I don't understand it, but it seems that if you don't get someone to sit down and do nothing else, no magazine in their hand, no books, no company that they can talk to, but make sure that they listen to your music, then maybe they will be able to hear your music. But other than that, it just seems that people find any and every other thing that they can do, when you have them listening to your music, that really stops them from listening. Though it's funny, they'll start reading books and flipping pages and doing everything else but listening. But then they will tell you, oh, I can hear, I'm listening, but they're not paying attention. So you really can't listen if you're not paying attention. If someone else, or if someone is not going to give you their undivided attention, don't waste your time playing your music for them. If they're not going to sit down there and listen to your music, don't waste your time. I've been meaning to bring this up on a video. Not that it's really, I guess, that important, but I've been meaning to bring this up on a video because I know from many years that I've spent back east that what I've been through when people want to hear my music, and then all of a sudden they hear it, and all of a sudden it's instant or subconscious jealousy, I call it. And they begin to just take off. Or they got something else they got to do, they got to make a phone call. It's just funny the way people really are. And I'm out here in California right now, so I figured I would make this video because I've been thinking over the last few days, what type of video would I make if I wanted to make another video? It's obviously not of music or anything as far as me playing, writing, producing, or any ideas concerning music. And I thought, well, what about people listening to your music? And that's when I thought, okay, well, why not make a short video about that? Because many of you all are going to experience the same thing. People are going to want to hear your music, and if it's someone else who's into music, singing, songwriting, or whatever, if they feel that your music is better than theirs, they're going to subconsciously get very jealous of your music, and they're really not going to hear your music. So you don't want to try to force people to listen to your music. And I think I'm to the point anymore where if people want to hear my music, they'll have to go to YouTube when it's finally done. The only thing I have to do is mix my vocals in all of my songs. I have 5 CDs done and roughly 14 songs on each CD. But all I have to do is mix my vocals to the produced version of my music, and it's already done. But it just takes a while for one person to do everything, believe me. So I don't think I'm really going to be playing my music for people much anymore. I think I'll just wait and let them hear it all on YouTube, the vocals. I mean, I could play it on the piano and sing it for people, but even still, it's you're not going to really keep their full attention in most cases, not always, but in most cases. But I just thought that was a very interesting concept or an idea to bring forth to you all. So don't be angry about it and don't be discouraged about it. It's just that a lot of people, their attention span is really only, this wide. Really. It really is. The average, I believe the average person has, I believe it's 2 to 2.5 minute attention span, meaning you can only keep or hold their attention for 2 to 2.5 minutes, which is really not even the length of a modern day song. So don't let it bother you if people just kind of wander off or start talking, or they have to make a phone call or start reading a book or something while they're listening to your music. Just turn it off and let that be it. And if they say that they're still listening to your music, well, they're not, so just leave it off and just tell them you have some other things to do. Yeah, I just thought that was funny. And I did play my music for someone, and they did listen, and that's what made me bring up the idea, is because they actually did listen. But prior to that one, most people would get discouraged and really just walk away and not want to hear your music because of jealousy. So when I played my music the other day for someone, which they did listen once again, actually I was out here in California, I played it for my cousin and they did listen, but that's what made me think about all the other ones that didn't listen. Okay, how they began to just get nervous for whatever reason. And some of these were guitar players, piano players, keyboardists, vocalists, people who already had CDs done long before I had mine finished, or long before I had finished producing my CD. They already had their stuff done. And as I would play what I had, after listening to their CD, they got really, really uncomfortable being around me and listening to my music. So you say, well, wow, is it that good? I can't wait to hear it. Well, I believe it is. And in most cases, if it makes people that uncomfortable, there must be something there. And you can be the judge of that when it is finally published on YouTube. So I just thought of that because I wanted to get this video out, and I wanted to thank my cousin for actually listening to my music. And they enjoyed it, but that's what made me think about all those who felt uncomfortable with my music. Not that there's anything bad, but it's so real about real relationships, reality, about, you name it, it's about everything. It really is. And the supporting details within the lyrics and the song and the music, they all fit tightly together. And that's why a lot of people who I can keep their attention span long enough to hear 4, 5, 8 songs or one CD, let alone going through all 5 CDs that I have done, they are really blown away at my music and my lyrics. So I wanted to bring another video as far as if people are not willing to listen to your song in its entirety, or however many songs that you have, don't be offended by it. Don't be offended. Just kind of let it go and brush it off your shoulders and keep moving on. And post it on YouTube, and someday somebody will hear it and like it. Not everybody likes everything. And not everybody's uplifting and supporting of other people's hobbies, such as singing, songwriting, or music producing. So you can't expect everybody to like what you do, because they don't do it. Alright, this has been a Giovanni production, Uboxic Studios. Have a good day. Peace from California.